So sings my soul. Praise my God of love and life. So sings my soul. A joy.
So we just went through this annual ritual that we call Valentine's Day. And what is really interesting about Valentine's Day is, well, any practitioner that you have prayer with here at Founders will tell you that there are three basic types of prayers that we get. One, we get prayers for healing, traditional prayers for physical healing. We get prayers for either career, financial abundance, perfect self-expression, in that genre. And then we get prayers for relationships. In particular, we'll get prayers for, I'd like to, meet my divine right mate. I'd like to meet my soulmate. I want to fall in love. And well, that's great. First question, is there anybody here who's happily married who'd like to own up to it? Yay! No, we celebrate that. Congratulations. That's wonderful. But here's the thing that's hard to explain to people sometimes. And for some of you, this will be disappointing news. Other of you, it will be liberating. And other of you, it'll be freeing. But there is no other half. You, are perfect, whole, and complete beings. There's no missing person, missing piece of you out there. Many people think that, well, I want to get married because I want to meet somebody who's going to love me back. Well, there are two problems with that. One is that if you're looking for something outside of yourself to complete you, the core belief of that is, I'm deficient. So what you're going to find is somebody who sees you as deficient, and they're going to complete you, or you'll find another person who is also deficient, and two dysfunctional people meet. And that's usually the way it goes. But that's only half the thing. The reason why we won't find anybody outside of us to complete us is because there is no outside of us. Everything that we see, hear, smell, touch, taste is a reflection. It's a manifestation, but it is a reflection. There's a corresponding image on the inside. So when people are looking out there for their soulmate, and trust me, I've done all the personal ads, I did all the dating services, we've all, there's a lot of, how to meet somebody out there. But if you really want to meet your soulmate, go within. You are your own soulmate. And because you are not separate from any other person, place, or thing. When you extend love to anybody, you're actually extending love to yourself. Because we're all one. There's only one mind. Only one begotten Son. And we're all individualized expressions of it, but not separate from it. We're like waves of an ocean. We're still part of the ocean. All that God is expressing through us, each of us, in unique, wonderful, amazing ways. So if we do experience a happy relationship on the outside, it's because we have a happy relationship on the inside. Because this is true not only about relationships, but a job. If anybody thinks that, well, when I get that job, or when I get that house, or when I get that thing, I'll be happy, here's the bad news. You will experience those things at the level of happiness you're already at. Has anybody here ever gotten an answer to your prayer and then realized, I need to find a way to pray my way out of this? I have at least had that experience. Because love, compassion. When we're showing compassion, we're not showing pity towards somebody. We're recognizing love in someone. We're recognizing ourselves in someone. And by knowing our oneness and feeling our love, miracles are possible. Manifestations are possible. Ernest Holmes said in some of his later writings, who wrote the Science of Mind textbook, that he wishes he had written more about love. He wrote tons about law, and there is the law. The law is absolute, and the law of correspondence, all the spiritual laws. But love is the animating force of the universe. It's the essence of who we are. And if we're in a situation and something appears to be missing, like, this job isn't for me, or this house, I've outgrown it, or, let's just say we're in an unhappy situation or an unhappy relationship. Well, only what we are not giving can be missing in any situation. And by giving, it's like, where are we vibrating from? So Valentine's Day shouldn't be thought of as, let me go find a Valentine to love me. It should be thought of as, how do I shower my love on everyone I meet? To the people I live with, my family, my friends, my coworkers, my neighbors, the strangers in the elevator, and then even the people we don't think we like. The person who cut us off on the freeway, the person who closed the elevator door without pressing open so that we could get on. The politician on the other side of the spectrum who we detest every time we see on television, whoever that is. They're not separate from us. There's only one of us here. And what we need to work on, our work as practitioners of the science of mind and spirit, is to work on how we experience our experience. Things happen. Like COVID, the pandemic has been a really great magnifying glass for who people are, hasn't it? We've seen the best of humanity, people giving of themselves, taking care of each other, and we've seen the worst of humanity. But how we react to what happens is a choice we make. Because it sets a new cause in motion. So it's like we're at a job we're not satisfied with. You know what the answer is? Pour your love into the situation and people and places where you're at. Now, I'm not saying stay at that job forever, or stay in an abusive, neglectful relationship forever, or stay in a house you don't enjoy living in. That's not what I'm saying. But the point is, if we don't fix what's on the inside, what we're going to recreate is going to mirror what we already have on the inside. Has anybody left a job thinking, I'm out of there, and gone into a new job that was just like the last job? Or gone from one relationship saying, I'm sorry, this isn't working out, and then right away got into another relationship that was the exact same paradigm? Because you know what the common denominator was? We, us. We're the common denominator in everything in our life. But that's actually good news. There's nothing outside of us that can determine our good. There's nothing outside of us that can determine our love. Speaking of love, Anne is sitting here. If you knew how much work she does to keep Founders going, let's just send her some love right now. If you need to experience sending love, send love. Now, what we did for Anne, she absolutely deserves. But start doing that for everyone. Say thank you. Or even strangers on the street. Bless them with love. Not only will it benefit them, do you know who the biggest beneficiary will be? You, because they're not separate from you. We're all one. This illusion, if you go to the subatomic level in quantum physics, there's this illusion that there's a place where I stop and a place where you start, and there's space in between. That's an illusion of Earth, of Maya. That is what our limited sense of perception tells us. That's not the cosmic order. We're all one reflection of something going on the inside. It's almost like everything outside of us is a hologram. I've used the analogy of a movie theater before. A movie theater, like So people are like watching a movie. We're all watching this movie, and most people are running up to the screen and trying to claw at the screen to change the screen because they don't like the movie they're seeing, instead of either refocusing the lens. Because God is like projecting perfect love, perfect beauty, perfect abundance, perfect joy, through the light, through the film. You're an individual film of God, as it were, and we look up and it's all distorted, and we're going up to the screen, shaking the screen, trying to make it clear, as opposed to refocusing our lens. Love clears up our lens. Love refocuses our brains. I'm taking a class right now in spirituality in the brain, and love heals. It's actually proven scientifically that love is a healing force. What we need more than ever as we rebuild, from COVID, not just our center, not just our lives, not just our society, we need love. I did a meditation. I led a series of meditations about what life would be like after the pandemic, which we're technically not out of yet, as it evolves in form. And the message I got, the intuitive message I got, was that, your problem is that you think that there was a before the pandemic, a during the pandemic, and the after the pandemic. The way we up here in the divine think about it is there's just one expression. We were hoping that people would be loving no matter what state the pandemic is in. Because after this particular human drama is over, there'll probably be another one down the road. Usually there always is. The question is, who are we showing up as? But we don't just show up as love because it feels good. That should be reason enough. Love is prosperous. Love hooks us into all the divine qualities: peace, joy, abundance, success, wealth, creativity. When we tap into the loving place within us, it opens neurons, it opens our lives to experience more joy. If you want to experience more love in your life, who here does a gratitude list every day? I do a written gratitude list every day that I share. I have a group of friends. We all share our daily gratitude with each other. It keeps our vibration on the right way. Two people could come to this service today, or any service, and and they see the same service, and one's in a good mood and an open mind and an open heart, and the other is, I like it when they do it this way, and then they have a closed mind and closed heart, and they experience the exact same thing in two different ways based on who they showed up to, whatever the thing was. Now, if you are in an unsatisfactory job, we've all had them, getting yourself into a place of love and happiness will do one of two things. The job around you will start to change because your energy will be different, and you'll realize, this wasn't so bad. New coworkers will gravitate. Maybe you'll find you get a promotion or a transfer, or someone else, a problem personality leaves, but things get better. Or because you're vibrating at love, the universe will move you into a new position that corresponds to your new vibration. That's the law. But there's no point where there's complaining. You can't go from complaining or disappointment and have a wonderful new demonstration. I've tried. So, as we think about love, let us remember there are four kingdoms. Well, kingdoms is one word for it, but let's say there are four stages to spiritual growth. And the first one is our relationship to God is one of at-me. A-T, like God is doing something, like some things are happening at me. Like we're a victim of the universe. And from that point, we tend to you'll hear people pray to some distant God saying, God, please do this. Please take mercy on this. Please make this happen. If you find yourself praying to a distant God, stop. Please stop. Because the core of that belief is that you're separate from the divine. The core of that belief is that God is somehow stingy and you have to win its favor and get its attention. God is infinitely within you and your life. God, you have God's attention because God is expressing itself through you. But it's like we have this victim relationship. And then we come to a new thought teaching like the science of mind and spirit. We come here to Founders and we learn, hey, if I change my thinking, I can change my life. I can do affirmations. I'm going to start doing prayers for I'll start with a parking space. And then we start demonstrating parking spaces. Oh, wow, I'm going to start demonstrating more money. I'm going to start demonstrating, wow, I'm going to demonstrate this, I'm going to demonstrate that. And we try and zap things into our lives. And we get some success with that, because the mind is very powerful. Our thoughts go into the law and create demonstrations. There's nothing wrong with this. But as we do this, and some people stop there, but the problem with that is that it's still based on the idea that I'm fixing the outside to change something on the inside. So eventually, even if we create all these things, there's still that core belief in lack. The core of greed. When they talk about the 7 deadly sins, some reason in this culture we never talk about the deadly sin of greed. And the reason why greed is a sin is because a sin meaning mistake, the sin meaning like spiritually off the beam, is because the core belief of a greedy person is that they don't have enough. So they want more, 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 more. So when we find that these things don't fulfill us, there's something in our heart saying, there's got to be more to this. I don't know if you've ever met a wealthy person who's felt like, I just want more to life. I've got all the things I want, but they don't make me happy. I've met people like that, and they start looking for more. Well, what's more is that the next stage, so we've gone from at me, God is at, I experience the universe at me, to by me, to through me. We start saying things like, God, use me. Universe, use me. The principle of divine love, express through me, flow through me, use me. And then we find ourselves and started thinking in terms of, well, instead of getting things, to make myself feel better and aggrandize myself, how can I help other people? We start experiencing love and action. And then the final step is that as we're experiencing this love flowing through us, is God as me. We become so identified with it. So identified with it that that's who we are. We are and that's really what enlightenment is about. There's no longer any separation between us. So, in any situation we are in, love is the answer. Because love is who we are. If you don't know what to do in any situation, ask yourself, what is the next right loving thought and action? So I'm going to ask everybody to turn within. We're going to do a process a little bit, a little experience, to experience love. If everybody could put their hand on their heart. And imagine a big ball of love. It could be, if you need an image, think of a ball of light. And it's circulating, pumping through your veins and arteries. And it's going to all parts of your body. And it's healing everything. For it casts fear out of all of your cells, all sense of separation. Everything is in harmony. And that love in your heart now expands. And it fills the room that you're in. And it moves into your life. You see your love expressing into your relationships, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And in that vibration of your love, their love sparkles, and their love starts expanding, and all of our love starts expressing out. And all of a sudden we find our cities get healed, our environment gets healed, our economic and political structures get healed. Our planet becomes a planet of love. And it all started with us feeling love within us, loving ourselves, loving other people, loving the world, for we are love. Thank you. And so we give thanks to know that every prayer that is brought here is known and healed, prayed upon, and revealed. Truth is revealed. And we bless these offerings that people now give, and they give throughout the week, every day of the year, that they experience the law of divine compensation. We experience tithing as an act of love, as an expression of God in us, as us. And so it is. Turn within, please. I know that there's only one power in the universe. That power, that presence, that intelligence is love. And it's at all points of space and time and consciousness. And it's right here where we are. Right here where I am. I am that consciousness of love, and we are that consciousness of love. And I know that whatever we brought forth to have healed, to have corrected in mind, to experience as the kingdom of heaven that is always at hand. I know that what happens today may appear to be a miracle to our human selves, but it is in perfect alignment with God's law. All-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present law. We bless Reverend Arthur, knowing his full and speedy and complete healing. We know that Founders is ready for its next great expansion in consciousness and in manifestation. We know that our lives are lifted as we emerge. All is well. All is whole. All is self. All is love. And with gratitude, we release this into a perfect law, and we allow it to be. And so it is. Would you all please stand for the benediction? The light of God surrounds you. The love of God unfolds you. The power of God flows through you and as you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. And so it is.